Good morning, beloveds. Judge ye not unless ye want to be judged. I woke up like this. Last night I told myself I was going to sleep good, and I slept so good. Face woke up a little swole, but before I get out of bed every morning, I communion with the God in me. And the message was, judge ye not unless ye want to be judged. Um, I take no rights to anything that I say, beloveds, and the word became flesh and made his dwelling. So I own no rights. I want to own no rights to nothing that I say. It says the truth will set us free. And the truth is one under its own law. That's why it made everything elemental to prove this to us. So, judge ye not unless ye want to be judged. One thing about judgment, and I'm going to use myself as an example. One day I was told that we don't do many things because there is this evil thing doing stuff to us. And for some reason, that couldn't sit right with me. It just could not sit right with me, beloveds. I did not believe that there was something evil keeping people from doing things. I just couldn't see it because all my life I was able to see things at the root of its nature. So many things, like there's nothing that sits right with me because I see contradiction. I see manipulation. I have the eyes of God. I see within. See, that's how all life is. We're internal. The kingdom of heaven lives within. So I see everything at a root nature. This is why some people say you can't know everything, you don't know everything. Well, if you know your consciousness, and even if you unconscious, you know everything. The person who states that is the person who is trying to, they don't know. I know that they don't know. How do I know that they don't know? Because when you know, you know. Tell them I am sent me. I know. Why? Because everything is conscious. Everything is living. Everything is living. There's nothing, even unconscious people are living, but they're living to tell their story or to create their book of life outside of the book of life. So they're living. Surely, if you eat from that tree of good and evil, you're going to die. You're living to die. And I know this may offend, but judge ye not. I'm not judging anyone. And I know a lot of people think when I come on here, I am judging them. Beloveds, I will never judge you. The very truth of every matter is that truth sets us free. Why does truth set us free? Because truth is its own frequency. It's its own resonance. It's its own vibration. It's its own consciousness dwelling within its own living truth. See, truth is just a word. It says, and the word became flesh. You, it made its dwelling. You see what I'm saying? Well, the truth of all matter, E equals MC2, or the atom that formed into the molecule to create matter, or the genetic code that formed into the cell to create the body, which is living. It has its own truth. And then you have one truth, for Jesus says, I and my Father are one. That one thing is elemental. It means that no one can deny that truth. It belongs to everyone in the same image and likeness. So we have a trinity. It's called a trinity. I call it a universal law. It's like the eight. It just keeps circulating itself all the way back around. It never comes out of that formation. It stays in that formation. So anybody outside of it, like a lot of people don't understand. Y'all creating in the matrix. Y'all out of the circle of life. You're not even in the circle of life. You're not gravitating. You're not consciously aware of it. You don't believe in it. You don't trust it. You like all these things that you need to understand, like trust. Many people don't trust what I'm saying, but everything that I'm saying is elemental. That's our only law. There's nothing outside of elemental, beloveds. There's just nothing. Nothing can be created outside of the elemental law of existence, which is just existence. How I say we serve a living God and everybody's serving this God that they just made up. that God can't live. He can't do anything for us. He can't feed us nourishment. He can't open or awaken what we are praying to him about. He can't answer any of our callings. Why? Because the kingdom of heaven lives within. As within, so without. As on heaven, so on earth. As micro, so macro. Like everything has to go from here to here. From here to here. It's just like a breath. Like a heartbeat. Life. It has to go from internal to external, like the mother. She taught us. Oh, she taught us so beautifully, beloveds. And yet we still can't get that comprehension because we continue to take our understanding from the world, which it tells you, do not be conformed by the world, but be renewed by my mind. And a lot of people don't get when it says the devil is a liar. Okay, this is how I found out the devil was a liar. Okay, the devil was using me. I'm just going to use myself as an example. When you can see things as you, this is why I don't judge. And many people will think I'm judging them because they know it's not them that knows this. It is their ego that knows who I am. All egos, any egotistical person, their ego know who I am. Their ego know, oh shit, she got the power to cast out demons, sickness, death, whatever it is. I'm conscious. That's why I have the eyes of God. I have the embodiment of the elemental kingdoms. I control the air, the water, the land, and the earth. I control the elements. This is the elemental kingdom, beloveds. That's all you have power over. Those elements make housing, they make everything. Living. The air, the water, the land, and the earth. Those are all living sources of nature. Who I am. So I have dominion over those things. They must abide in me. You hear me? They must abide in me. They need a vessel. So this is how I can see a lie. And this is how I can see I judge not, judge ye not. I don't have to judge anyone. Every mind. See, this lady, when she was telling me there's something evil that does this or does that, she didn't even know what she was talking about. And the crazy part about it is that this lady, she was a pastor, and that was very scary. But I couldn't believe her. This was years and years and years ago. I asked the question, like, why do you? God asked me to ask her this question. See, consciousness just wants to awaken itself. I and my Father are one. I'm the same element as you. You that same element as me. So if I'm already up here, all I can do is bring you up here. I don't want to go back down there. So what am I going to do? What do I want in life? I want all my brothers and sisters to be up here as the head. I want all my brothers and sisters. I don't see you as a race. I don't see you as a sex. I don't see you as a nationality. That's the devil's will. The devil wants to keep you segregated as the head, the tail, and never the head. He doesn't want you to be the head. It wants to keep you the tail. But one thing you got to comprehend about the devil is the same person that lady was talking about, or that pastor was talking about. She was talking about the evil. It's the mind. It says the mind is carnal. See, a lot of people don't know. See, my mind used to lie to me. My mind used to tell me things like, you damaged goods. Telling me I'm damaged goods because somebody damaged me by something that they did to me because of the world's understanding. See, my mind, oh, the devil is a liar. He ain't in nobody else. He not using anybody else. See, that's what many people don't get. Judge ye not unless you want to be judged. I'm not going to judge you because I know you are not the devil. I know you're not the devil. But the ego mind don't know that. The ego mind is ignorant to everything. See, the ego mind will tell me something like, it's this evil thing ruling the world. And all evil is a person. All evil is somebody using their mind outside of the elemental kingdom. That's all evil is. But that person wanted me to be so afraid. And maybe Maybe she knew better and maybe she didn't know better, but I don't care, because one thing we got to realize is this, and the wrath is not ours, the wrath is the Lord's. So when people lie to you, when people hurt you, when people do things to you, you know you don't deserve, because you know deep down in your heart, you know right. We all know right. Deep down in our hearts, we all know truth. It says, guard your heart through the well springs of life flow. It's telling you, in your heart, there I am dwelling. In your heart, there I am, your wellspring, your flow of life. Everybody knows deep down in their heart, which is their soul, why they are here, what they are here to do. And they know the living truth. And some people choose to live outside of that truth for whatever reason, and they pay the price. And this is one thing that we need to comprehend when it comes to awakening. I share these things because what I want everybody to be the head. I want everybody to be the head. Why? Why would I want everybody to be the head? The only reason why I want everybody to be the head is because we are all immunity to this existence. And when you got people around this earth, plagues, you don't want to be in the presence of that. You do not want to be in the presence of people who are evil, who are hateful, who are deadly, who judge, who curse, who spell, who segregate, who separate, who lie. See, those are all plagues. Why are they plagues, beloveds? Because number one, this is a blood body of existence, and we know that it's a cell, so this body cannot be plagued with negative charges. It poisons the body's immunity. That's why I want everybody to be the head, not because of any other thing, but we want perfect immunity in life. We want to walk. We want to walk as heaven on earth. We want to walk as health. We want to walk as great well-being. Each and every one of us, we deserve this. We deserve this. That is our trinity. Well-being, a mind that understands it's the living law or the living truth. That's well-being. Health, a body that knows that I am one thing, and that is immunity to every other body. Okay? And we want to walk as the mind of law, which means that I know that I am the elemental law. I know that if I don't honor every element of living truth, living existence, surely I'm going to die, because I'm eating from a tree of good and evil. I'm eating from a tree that does not exist. That is what the Matrix is all about. You're eating from a tree or a understanding or a belief that does not exist. So if you are consciousness and you're taking your consciousness to something that does not exist, voila, guess what happens? You die, because you're no longer the living truth. So you can't live anymore. This is why it tells us don't honor false prophets and false idols and statutes and all those other things. Judge ye not unless ye want to be judged. And a lot of people don't understand. Every day I get up and I communion with my source nature. I don't communion with beliefs. I don't communion with the world. Those things are not real. I communion with every body, every mind, every soul. I communion with you. Every time I communion with this kingdom, which is every other elemental kingdom, I'm rising it, whether I do it verbally, mentally, physically, or emotionally. I am communing with existence. See, a lot of you guys, you can't do that. You don't even know it exists. You don't even understand what I'm saying. Many people cannot understand their own living truth. Judge ye not unless ye want to be judged. Many people right now are believing that I am judging them. Many people are believing that I am talking to them, but I want you to understand one thing: the devil is a liar. And what is the lie? Is the mind. The mind that believes that something is evil. Like that pastor who told me something is evil, and I know evil does not exist. This took me a long time because I'm seeing evil. At the age of 5, I can literally see evil. But what I was seeing was people breaking that elemental law and turning into this tree of good and evil. They were transmuting. They were transmuting a spirit, which means they were changing the image and the likeliness of that spirit. So I can see the formation of what they were changing into. It says, and the word became flesh. And a lot of people don't get this. If I am a word, you see me as this black. Then you see me as a woman. Then you may say, oh, I see her as a nigger. Or, oh, I see her as this. Or, oh, we're transmuting. We're turning into transmutation. We're turning into something that's not God's image and likeliness. So judge ye not unless ye want to be judged. When I speak, I am not judging anyone. I'm speaking the truth. It's living. And if I don't speak a living truth, I'm just as guilty. I'm just as sinister. I'm just as carnal as everybody else using their mind against their own kingdom, against their own law, against their own existence. So I must come on here and always speak the living truth. And yes, it may offend many, but beloved, you need to know, if God is for me, I can't never be against you. I will never be against you. Yes, the things that I say are going to stand against everything you believe in. Yes, they will. They will stand against them. They will always stand against them because I'm speaking the truth and you are not. And many people will say, well, what is the truth? There's only one truth. I and my Father are one. What are we? We're elemental. I gave you dominion over the air, the water, the land, and the earth. Those are the elements of creation. That's who you are. That's what you govern. That's what you uplift. That's what you teach. That's what you trust. That's what you lead by. That's what you stand by. Stand still and know that I am God. Those are your understandings that surpass all other understandings. Anybody leading you out of that understanding is judging ye. That's a judgment. Automatically a judgment. Why is it automatically a judgment? Because you now have broken the elemental law. Surely, if you eat from that tree of good and evil, you are going to die. Automatically. That's automatic execution, beloveds. And I tell everybody, death is execution. Death is not something that we just calmly and peacefully in one day say, oh, I'm going to die. It's not. That's a lie. And the devil is a liar. The devil knows not what he knows because the devil doesn't know he's even a living entity. The devil does not even know he is a elemental kingdom, which is the only route to existence, beloveds. You see what I'm saying? The devil is a liar. He does not know how to speak the truth, to see the truth, to know the truth. He's all he can do is eat from the tree of good and evil. He can't step out of that wilderness. He's kept himself in the darkness for so long that he just refuses. And this is why in the book of law or the book of nature or the book of the elemental kingdom, it tells you don't honor false prophets. It warns us, beloveds. It warns us. It warns us. Like all those warnings you are believing in, they're not real, but these are real warnings that I come on here about. They're warnings. They protect you, I, us, we, I and my Father are one. We are one body under God. This is one body under God. Nothing is outside of this body. Nothing. No form, no nature, no fabric, no existence. There's nothing outside of this. Nothing. There's just nothing. Even this body is nothing. When you want to see yourself as the head, you don't honor this body. I'm not saying it's not there. I'm not saying it's not present. In your mind, it is. But in my mind, I'm not this body. I will never be this body. This body is a liar. It told me I was damaged goods, beloveds. And so did my mind. So I don't drink of the tree of good and evil. I don't mess with those realms. I don't touch those realms. I see them. See how I have eyes to see, ears to hear, is I don't mess around in a realm that God doesn't exist in. I don't communion in realms where God doesn't exist. And this is why many people will see me judging them, because you're down here. You're seeing life down here. I'm standing up here in the kingdom of heaven and I'm looking down and I can see everything for what it is. And that's all it is. So don't ever think that I'm judging you. I'm not judging the world, because the world is just a figment of my imagination, just like it is yours. But you haven't got up here to be able to look down and truly see this yet. And once you do, you're going to see everything that I'm saying is right. And see, all I'm doing is trying to get you here. As long as you stand down here, guess what, beloved? You're just down here. You don't move. You don't move. You just don't move. As long as you honor in the world, doctrine, beliefs, understandings that don't have not one understanding. See, it says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. You already in shackles. You already got the shackles. Every day you wake up, you already shackled. You already walking. You the chain gang. And every time you walk past another person, you chaining them to your chain. Every time you teach another person that understanding or that belief, not understanding, you're chaining them. They become, it's like a big world of the chain gang. You already heading for execution. You just walking, oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir, master. You honoring all these figments, all these illusions, all these doctrines. Even doctrine is an illusion, beloved. It's made up. You serve a living God. Like we serve a living God, beloveds. We need to honor living things so that they can feed us, so that they can sustain us, so that we can be up here looking down, because we know everything down here is already living. Because up here, we know we are its sustainability. We know that we are its creator. We know that we are its image. We know that we are its likeliness. So down here, we can bring it up to us. Down here, you can't do nothing. You just chaining another gang. You creating another chain gang, and all y'all just walking, waiting. Y'all just walking. Y'all ain't ever gonna get into the kingdom of heaven. You ain't gonna never touch the kingdom of heaven. Why? Because you down here as the tail. You don't have nothing to see. All you're seeing is the same march, the same beat, the same doctrine every day. It's just like school. School teaches us how to understand the matrix. It teaches us. One thing that school taught me is every day, see, my mind is evolution. I'm like this. I'm all over the place always. And I love that. A lot of people, they don't like it because my mind is free. I'm free will. My mind can't be one place. It just can't be one place. Why? Because I and my Father are one. I'm everything. So I can't say, oh, today I'm a candle. Oh, I can't place my consciousness in something that's going to imprison it. I can't do that. I've never been able to do that. And everybody wants me to be this one thing. I'm already that one thing. I'm consciousness. And my consciousness cannot be stagnated. See, everybody in the world wants to stagnate everybody's growth. If every day I wake up to the same understanding, and here I am my Father one, I'm everything. I should be up here looking down at everything and saying, oh shoot, I was imprisoning myself. I was the chain gang. I'm just walking. Yo, yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir, master. Honoring all these masters, which are just beliefs, figments of our imaginations, illusions that are not real. And I'm sitting up here now on the throne, looking down, saying, these people had me enslaving my own self in money, In school, see, school teaches me. School taught me how to see this every day. I'm going into this prison. I'm being imprisoned in this structure, which is doctrine. If I want to just give us a good understanding of what I'm saying, I was being imprisoned in doctrine. Every day, these people are taking my mind, which is one in itself. It can't be imprisoned. I cannot imprison my flow. That's all I am. It's just like energy. Energy has to keep moving. It got to move. It can't never be stagnated, beloveds. And that's what the world does to us. It's just chaining you. The minute it stagnates you, it's imprisoning you. Regardless if it is in doctrine, regardless if it is with a degree, regardless if it is with anything. I don't care what it is. Energy, consciousness. Guard your heart to the well springs of life. What is a wellspring? What does a wellspring have to do, beloveds? It always has to continuously flow. And one thing about me is that is who I am. Being an internal being, I always have to flow. Everybody say, you can't sit still. You can't. No. And I'm glad that I was like that, beloveds. I am so honored that I was like that. I'm so honored that I was different. That I was different. I got to truly see. I truly got to see everything that I'm talking about because I was not like everybody else. Everybody else couldn't pin me down. You couldn't pin me down. I never could be pinned down. I never can be enslaved. My consciousness was already open. I had a conscious awareness at the age of 5 that had already been present in me. So I just couldn't be like the world. Regardless if I tried, even when I tried to be like the world, I couldn't. I just could not operate. And everybody says, well, this is the way of the world. No, it's not the way of the world. Surely if you eat from that tree of good and evil, you're going to die. No one can lead me to my death. No one can lead you to your death. Judge ye not. You're not going to judge me. You're not going to put me under condemnation. You're not going to condemn me in anything in which my wellspring can never flow. You cannot stagnate me. Number one, I'm energy. I'm blood. My blood has to always keep. And one thing that I had a genetic disorder where my blood flow was stagnated. And what it kept me from doing is, see, we come here to birth life. In my whole story, it was telling itself to me. See, I'm the book of life, so I understand things internally. First thing I understand things is me being a bloodline. So my genetic code, it kind of told me how I was being stagnated. My flow of life was being stagnated because when I got pregnant, I couldn't give my children the nourishment they needed. So it was already telling me how to understand life. All my circumstances in life taught me this. I didn't need a doctor. I didn't need a teacher. I didn't need no one to teach me this. My own understanding taught me this. So I learned not to judge, not understanding why I never judged people. I felt judgment. I got to see how judgment felt inside of me, and it didn't feel good. It made me become damaged goods. You hear me? It made me become damaged goods. It altered me into damaged goods. And a lot of people don't get this. A lot of people are not doing nothing but speaking death over existence. You can't feed anybody anything that's a negative charge to life. Here you are, every last one of us, this beautiful agape immunity. Perfect, loving. Everything that we should ever believe in, exist in, is life. Jesus tried to teach us that. I came here to give you life and life abundantly. And yet, everybody out there thinking money is life and abundance. Those things are not real. What is life? Life is the elements that create life. Money is not an element. It's a belief. It's an illusion. It's a figment of everybody's imagination. What is life? You see what I'm saying? Everybody is thinking that I am judging them. Everybody is thinking that I am calling them out. Well, If truth don't exist, that's what it has to do to awaken itself. If it just doesn't exist, I and my Father are one. I'm you, you, me. We all the blood, we all the cell, and we all the body. And we all got the same mind. This is a universal law. It's land. It's the air, the water, it's the elements. We all are one in that same source, nature. So no one should be governed outside of it. Nobody should be chained and enslaved. Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yes, master. Every time you honor another doctrine, another belief, another foundation, another entity, another form, you just chaining yourself to another conformity and chaining yourself. Do you ever be able to come up here and just look and see? Have that peace of mind, beloveds. Have that immunity to know, oh, today I can get up and just breathe anew. I can just get up and feel the pressure. You have so much pressure living in you, just ready to just destroy your body at every minute, because you have never once been taught anything that's peace. And that is very scary. When I get out there in the world and I can feel all this pressure and all this tension and all this in everything, I do this. This is why I do this. I do this, number one, to stay safe. Because in the world, you are not safe. Nobody can ever make me believe that I am safe. I don't care how high up you have gone in your understanding. I don't care how much you want me to believe this so that I can keep you in a world that harms me still. I don't believe like that. I know the truth. And if I don't honor it, it does not exist. That's the beautifulest thing about creation. If you don't become it, it does not exist. And when you can see if you can see 99% of the people, or 5% of the people, or 2% of the people, or 1% of the people operating outside of the elements, it doesn't exist. This is a wholeness. You see what I'm saying? I am a wholeness. So what I want for myself, I want for everybody else. And everybody who's living in wholeness. If wholeness is your existence, literally, if it is your existence, if you are the creator of wholeness, I and my Father are one. I want what I want for myself, I want for everybody else. Why? Because wholeness is one elemental body of existence, which means we all universal, baby. Every last one of us is universal. So if I want that for myself, because I am wholeness, I got to bring wholeness to everybody else. I don't leave anybody out. So if we knew that this mind was operating in that wholeness, every mind would already be there. There would be no 1%. Life is 100%. You hear me? Life is 100%. It's 100%. So that means this body is 100%. This mind is 100%. Thoughts are 100%. And everybody should be included in that wholeness, that flow. Everybody should be flowing with that same fabric. Why? Ain't you blood? Ain't you a cell? Ain't you a body? So everybody should be included in that existence. So don't ever think that I'm judging you, beloveds. Don't you ever think that I'm judging you. I'm up here looking down at you, and I want to get you up here. And to get you up here, you're going to feel judged. I feel judged when I started coming up there. When I started walking, breaking all those chains and all those shackles and all those beliefs, getting out of that doctrine, getting off those entities. You don't want to be part of those things. And sometimes I feel like I got to go into that system in order to break y'all out of there. But the truth is, I don't want to go into that system. I don't want to be in that system. It's going to fall. So I hope that you guys are just listening to me. I hope that you guys are just understanding I am not judging you. That system is going to fall. It's the fall of Babylon. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. It's all the things that the Bible has taught us, and now it's back to one. So there, it's happening. We've seen it. The COVID was the first hit, beloveds. You know, it's happening. The fall of Babylon, the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, it's all happening. It's all taking place right now. These are the end of our days. So I truly don't want to go back out there in that realm. I don't. I just need you guys to hear me out, to listen to me, to understand what I'm saying. I'm not judging you. Don't ever think that I'm judging you. I'm up here looking in the elements. I'm not in this realm. I don't see like this realm. I don't want to operate like this realm. This realm is the tree of good and evil. It's nothing healthy here. It's nothing loving here. It's nothing that can add on to life down here. Nothing. Y'all don't even believe in life. You know how many people say they just die? You know how many people deny their own cellular nature, which is their own health? Like, you guys refuse. You refuse your own existence because you want to follow and honor false prophets and professionals and people that you respect, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you need to be up here so that you can see what I'm saying. Once you get up here, you're going to be able to see all the stuff that I'm talking about. It's not real. My people perish because of lack of knowledge, beloved. You're just dying for no reason. You being taught by all this understandings and beliefs and people and places and things that just are not healthy for your elemental kingdom. They're not healthy to your nervous system. They're not healthy to your cellular structure. They're not healthy to your mental, physical, or emotional state of being. They're not healthy to you. And that is your only right to life, is your immunity. You know, once that immunity fails, money don't mean shit, beloveds. Materialism don't mean shit. You fighting for your right to just live. The battle is not yours. You shouldn't be battling for anything. To live, to be sustained, to be liked, to be loved, to be welcomed. You elemental, you should be up here knowing that that's already you. It's already been added on to me. I am already it. And you can't operate in that world and believe that. You cannot. Don't you go there with me, beloveds. Judge ye not unless you want to be judged. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. And you're gonna feel condemned by it. You're always gonna be condemned by the truth. Why? Because it's you. It's already you. You're gonna feel condemned by you. Because your heart knows better. Your mind don't know better. The mind has been taught by all these illusionists and magicians and deities and demons and evils and spells and casters. It's been taught by the world. But your heart knows better. Want to know why? Because that's where God dwells. Guard your heart, the well springs of life flow. That's where your evolution is. It's in your heart. Once that heart gets to, and I'm feeling it, you just become the resonance. Your presence commands. Your immunity rebukes. Your mind sees all things. No one has told you today, beloveds, judge ye not unless ye want to be judged. I don't judge. I just speak the truth. And truth condemns. Oh, it condemns. It condemns all lies. And that's what you want to do. You want to condemn every lie that the mind has told of you. If it's telling you in your own mind a lie, it's going to tell your mind to tell everybody else that same lie. Birds of a feather flock together. And that is just the truth. And it comes to set itself free. May this day be a day already dwelling in you and not in the world. You got to understand, you got the power to uplift sickness, sin, and death. Why? This your land. This your land. All this is your land, and you don't want that shit present. Why? It comes to kill, steal, and destroy like the thief in the night. While you sleeping, it's energy. It's creeping. It's creeping. It don't have a mind. It don't have a consciousness. It just uses whatever is willing to accept it. And this is the truth that sets us free. My people have perished because of lack of knowledge. And I stand anointed and appointed as that living knowledge. Now, I ain't coming at you with a book. I ain't coming at you with a doctrine. I ain't coming at you with anything that's not elemental, which is that's not living. If you want life, it got to come from itself. As a man thinketh, so he is. Have an amazing day, beloveds. You all deserve it.